This is the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 7. But we have this treasure in earthen vessels, that the excellency of the power may be of the Most High and not of us. Shalom. First and foremost, I want to begin this lesson by giving all praise, honor, and all glory to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, RAAHWABAN. Double honor is due to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. All right, that teach and rule well, and peace, love, and blessings to the elect of the nation of Israel scattered abroad. Shalom. And today's lesson is, it's a lesson / testimony, about how, people will come to us for answers. All right. People will come to us for answers. And what inspired this lesson was I was at the job, and it's Jake, he rolled up on me. And, I was, asking him, how I can help him out with, whatever he needs. But he had a nice car, and I was like, damn, man, this is a nice car. What you do for a living? He was telling me he was in, to the IT or, computer coding and things like that. I was like, damn, man, that's good. I started asking him, how did he get into that, And he was like, yeah, I just studied it online. I didn't have to go to school for nothing like that, so on and so forth. And I was like, yeah, man, that's a nice car, man. And I was like, then he got to telling me how much he make, He was like, yeah, man, I've been doing it for like the last 5 years. I'm getting paid $55 an hour, I'm like, damn, bro, that's a good living. And he was like, yeah, man. Then he asked me, he was like, you got a family? Like, you got a girlfriend or something like that? And I was like, yeah, I got a rib, I got a rib. I got, a child. Not, disclosing too much of my business. But he was like, man, yeah, I got a woman too, but she's kind of a headache. And it's like, I was kind of taken back. I'm like, why, why is he asking? Why is he telling me this? It's like, he was like, yeah, man, he said, he said, can I ask you a question? I was like, yeah, go ahead. He was like, do you believe in like a man providing for his household and things like that? And I was like, to a degree. He was like, yeah, because I'm making all this money, and I put this girl on this trial run. He was like, at first, I was dealing with her, and even though I could afford to pay all the bills, I put her on the trial run, like where we'll go 50-50, and I'll see how she treat me. And I was like, damn. He was like, and she listened to what I says, but at the end of the day, she's a headache. He was like, she's a headache. Like, every day she's arguing with me. Every day she's, accusing me of doing things, going through my phone. And I'm like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, man, what the hell? Why is he telling me all this? All I asked was, what job you work at, and, this is a nice car. That's all I asked him. But he just gets to pouring his whole life into me, man, about what he's going through at home. Like, I actually know him. He just keep on going like, yeah, man, what would you do? And I was like, hey, if I could afford to, pay all the bills, and I had a job that was that good, and I'm getting paid that much money, of course I'll provide. But in return, I would, want submission, He was like, see, yeah, man, yeah. That's kind of the problem I'm at. I have no problem providing, but this woman I'm dealing with, she's a headache. And he was like, all she want to do is argue every day. And I was like, yeah, bro. I was like, honestly, bro, this is a young Jake. Like, he was like, yeah, I just got the military. I'm working. He was like, bro, and all my coworkers can see that she's stressing me and draining me. I'm like, bro, why is this dude telling me this? But he was like, what would you do? And I was like, honestly, bro, I would give her an ultimatum. Like, hey, I can provide for you. I can do all these things, but this is what this is what I expect in return. Yeah, she may look good, because he was like, yeah, she looked good and everything. I was like, yeah, she may look good, but at the end of the day, bro, a peace of mind is above all of that. I said, your mental health is above all of those things. He was like, bro, you're right. I was like, yeah, man, your mental health. I said, prioritize your mental health first and foremost, because we live in this feminist world okay, where nobody really cares about the man's mental health and what the hell you really going through. I was like, yeah, she look good, but she's not. If she's a damn dragon and she's just stressing you out all day and causing arguments, bro. I said, the best thing, I said, what I would do personally, I'll just cut her off. He was like, man. He said, you're wise. You're very wise. And I was like, nah, bro, it's not me. And that's why I brought the scripture out. And that's pretty much the testimony. All right? Because the Lord put the spirit on that guy to vent to me at my job. Like, I'm in the middle of work. I'm not on break or anything. I'm in the middle of work, bro. And he just stopped and started venting to me like he knew me. But it just came back to me like, bro, people gonna come to us for answers because we have the answers through the spirit and power of Yahawah BAHASHAM. That's why I open up with 2 Corinthians 4 and verse 7. But we have this treasure, which the treasure is, first and foremost, the fear of the Lord, which is the beginning of wisdom, because he said I was wise, which wisdom comes from the fear of the Lord. It says, we have this treasure in earthen vessels, that the excellency of the power may be of Yahawah BAHASHAM and not of us. That's why I told him, like, hey, bro, it's not me. Because it's not me. It's not any of us. It's the spirit of the Lord dwelling within us, man. Okay? We're not the wise ones. We're not wise guys. But the spirit of the Lord within us, okay, is what's pouring out that wisdom. And people can see that. People can see that, man. People can see that, you set apart. All right? But I'm going to grab this in the GNT. It says, yet we who have this spiritual treasure are like common clay pots, in order to show that the supreme power belongs to the Most High, not to us, you see? Because we're ordinary men, though we're not ordinary men, but we look like ordinary men, but all this heavenly wisdom is upon you, brethren. All right? So that's why I titled this lesson, people will come to us for answers. People will come to us for answers, and it's the spirit. It's all through the spirit that happened today, because I just did a lesson earlier today going into how the Jake was talking about how he paid $17,000 in bills and he got the money, all right, but his woman was still nagging him and telling him how she got 5 other niggas to send her money on the drop of a dime. So it's all through the spirit, man, that Jake really in the mentality of like, man, these women, like, they not good for me. Yes, she look good, but she's not, when it comes to my mental health, it's like she's like dragging me down. So it's the spirit. It's all through the spirit, man. Okay. And yeah, that's through the spirit. That's a little testimony, but I'm gonna grab some precepts and Lord willing, that's edifying. Because yeah, bro, it's like you may be dealing with a woman and she may look good. She may have the hips and the lips and the dips, whatever. But if she's bringing down your mental health, like if she's like taking a toll on your spiritual health, bro, you gotta cut her off, bro. This is Proverbs 31 and 3, and that can be anything, not just a woman, okay? Because remember, a woman can also represent a philosophy, a doctrine, okay? A scripture speak on a strange woman, different things that you're giving yourself over to that may not be good for you, that's draining you, bro. So a woman can be many things, all right? So Proverbs 31 and verse 3, give not thy strength unto woman, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings, man. See, it can be anything that you're giving your strength unto that's destroying you, destroying your mental clarity, all right? Your health is draining you. It's like it's draining you, bro. And he was like, damn, man, my coworkers, man, it's all through the spirit, bro. It's all through the spirit, because brothers been talking about that, like cutting things off that's not beneficial for you, that can be draining. He said, bro, my coworkers can see that it's draining me, that she's draining me. And I'm like, damn. But now I'm looking back and I'm, now that it's marinating, it's settling within my mind. I can see, like, damn, bro, it's like certain shit. Like, brothers may tell you, like, damn, you may need to cut off on that a little bit. And you may not see it, but a brother can see it. Like, yeah, bro, you may be giving too much time to this. or you may be indulging in this too much, and it may not be going off, but it's like, yeah, bro, you may have to cut that off. It's draining you. You know, you putting too much time into that. So it's all through the spirit, man. But at the same time, it's like people gonna come to us for answers, you know. And that guy Salakia, he thanked me afterwards. He was like, man, thank you for this conversation, even though it was like 5 minutes, but he thanked me. All right. And then, you know, he went about his way. But it just show you that people just open up to you and vent to you. It's like, what the hell? Why? All right. And it's like the Lord got a therapist spirit on brothers. Or you could just vent to a brother, man, and he just heal you through the spirit of the Lord, YAHAWASHI. But at the same time, like the brothers say down here in Tampa, Florida, it's always lessons within lessons. So it's, you know, it's spiritual for me personally. But yeah, Proverbs 31 in verse 3 again, it says, give not thy strength unto woman, nor thy ways Salakia, which destroyeth kings. Right, man. So you may be giving yourself over to certain things that's not beneficial for you. Or it could actually be a woman that's just draining you. You ain't spending time with the brothers no more. You ain't calling brothers. Like, you just completely, she got you in her purse, like, tripping. And you don't want that, bro. Hell nah, you don't want that. This is the book of 1 Ezra chapter 4 and verse 25. Wherefore a man loveth his wife better than father or mother. Yeah, many there be that have run out of their wits for women and become servants for their sakes. See? And the spirit is on the woman right now. Like, these women, bro, giving your strength to a woman in these last days, bro, you tripping, bro. All right? We can't become servants for their sakes. They was created to serve us, but yet you serving them because she looked good. Scripture says, stumble not at the beauty, because he mentioned that to me. He was like, man, she looked good. She looked good. And it's layers to this shit. You know, it's lucky for my language, because once again, it may not just be a woman. It could be anything. All right? She looked good. It's pleasurable. It's desirable. But it's draining me, and my coworkers see it. That's heavy, bro. Now that I'm really digesting what the hell he said to me, shit, a lot of that can apply to my personal life. I'm like, damn. And it just hit me through the spirit of the Lord as I'm going into this lesson. So the YAHWAH Shemal Shah for that. 8144, call YAHWAH Shemal Shah. It's the spirit, man. All right. And it says, many also have perished and have erred and sinned for women. Yeah, man. Going off. You ain't doing the work of the Lord. You're not doing as much as you would because you so caught up in these distractions. You so caught up in that you can't see, you know? So it's like, damn. You caught up. So you got to do what? You got to cut that woman off. You may have to cut that off. You may have to cut drinking off. You know? That can be likened to a woman. You drinking all the damn time. Every time brothers see you, you got a damn bottle in your hand. And not to say it's the case with brothers, but I'm just throwing that out there. You on the game too much. You know? You out too much. You at the bar too much. All right? It can be anything, man. I'm just throwing that out there. But it could be draining you, and you may not see it, and your coworkers see it, because the brothers are your coworkers. We working for the Lord. Okay? So that's why, we also got to take heed to these spiritual messages that the Lord be giving us, man. The Lord be giving us messages. We got to be spiritual and perceive them, So it's like, man, people going to come to us for answers. All right? But also, it's layers to it, because man, that we can also apply that to cutting certain things off that's not benefiting us in our life. I want to get a scripture right quick. This is the book of 1 Corinthians 10 and verse 23. All things are lawful for me, but all things are not expedient. All things are lawful for me, but all things edify not. Yeah, so certain things within the law is you can do, but is it beneficial though? Let's get this in the book of Sirach right quick. Sirach 37 and verse 27. My son, prove thy soul and thy life, and see what is evil for it, and give not that unto it. It says, for all things are not profitable for all men, neither have every soul pleasure in everything. Be not unsatiable in any dainty thing, nor too greedy upon meats. For excess of meats bringeth sickness, and surfeiting will turn into choler. Yep. It's like, yo, certain things that we may indulge in, it may not be for us. Another brother can do it, but you can't do it because it's draining you, but it ain't draining that brother. Okay? Some brothers chill, some brothers can handle having women, but shit, you get women and you start tripping. Some brothers get around women and start tripping, bro. Like, yo, what the fuck? So the Lord gave every brother a portion of what they can and can't handle, or what's beneficial and what's not beneficial. Okay? So it's like you up under the woman all the time and she's draining you, she's stressing you out. If brothers can see it, brothers let you know, and it's like, yo, bro, you might have to cut her off. Okay? And you got to take it as the Lord is telling you that. Especially if it's 2 or 3 brothers telling you the same shit. It's like, yo, at that point, as scripture says, in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, let every word be established. So 2 or 3 brothers telling you the same thing and everybody crazy but you, it's like, nah, bro, you tripping. Back to 1 Corinthians 10, though, in verse 23, it says, all things are lawful for me, but all things are not expedient. All things are lawful for me, but all things edify not. You see? So through the Spirit, it's like, yo, call it about SHAMAIWAN, because it's all coming back to me, man. So it's like, yo, speaking to myself first and foremost, some things we just gotta cut off, bro. And it may be pleasurable. It may not look as sin. It may not be a sin, but it's not beneficial either. Whether it's woman, whether it's whatever you brothers indulge in. Okay, this is a layered lesson. Lord, I ain't trying to be deep or nothing like that. Salakia. But this is certain things I peep in the spirit. So, I pray it's edifying. I pray it makes sense. And I pray it's beneficial. Certain things that, brothers see on us, that's hurting us, we got to take heed to that. Certain women that's not beneficial to us, you got to cut it off. You got to take heed to that. So, I pray this lesson was edifying. I pray it was, uplifting. I pray it was exhorting. It's like it was supposed to go one way, but it ended up going another way. It's all through the Spirit. YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, RAAHWABAN. Double honor to the elders and the apostles, the great millstone, the teaching real well. And until next time, Shalom.